the Sub-Saharan Africa Peace Caravan. Countrymen, countrywomen, media, members of the Ukraine Secretary Committee, greetings. Today marks 319 days since Putin's Russia invaded the sovereign state of Ukraine. 319 days of total oppression and destruction, massive death of women and children, young and old, doctors and nurses, teachers, people displacement, disturbance of global commerce and trade, hiking prices of essential commodities, fuel, food, fertilizers, etc. The unlawful and unjustifiable war, just aggression. Russia is an aggressor. An action that is threatened to set new precedents on European soil and the rest of the world, undermining those basic international principles vital to peace and security. Today we had this seminar, so our concern is much on peace and security and the repercussions of the same, if at all there is any threat to them in any country or in the corner of the world. It means threat to any side of the world. Those principles include, but not limited, 1, the borders and territorial integrity of a state cannot be changed by force. Once you try to use force, you are breaking and threatening the international basic principles of peace and security. Second, citizens in a democracy have an inherent right to determine their country's future under the principle of self-determination. Like the people of Ukraine have a right to self-determination, to determine how their country should be led and how their affairs should be conducted. Third, all members of the international community are bound by common rule, the UN Charter, and must face consequences if they break their solemn commitment. There is no any country in the world which is recognized and under the UN Charter which is bound or which is not bound by the UN Charter. Even if it's America, Bungaresa, France, China, Russia, all those countries. So there are rules which governs this world, and we are all bound to them. So once the incident, what Russia is trying to do, threatens these principles. These principles extend beyond Ukraine. These principles extend beyond Europe. These principles are the underpinnings of the international order that were built and sustained, and in challenging those principles, Russia challenges the international system itself and unravels the transatlantic alliance, erodes the unity and pressure democracies into failure. Diplomacy is the only responsible way to resolve this crisis. What Russia is trying to do in Ukraine, the precedent it is trying to set, threatens those vital principles for peace and security. And in doing so, it brings the unrest and a predetermined future of insurgency, wars everywhere. Some people underrate what can come out as a result of Russian win in this war. The next day you can hear some countries in East Africa attacking other countries to grab some portions of their land. So if we don't join forces, if we don't join voices to see that this war does not escalate, this war ends when the democracies, when these principles are preserved, we are all at stake and we are all at risk of being in a world where instability is the order of the day. who have come out in words and actions to condemn Putin's actions. In this regard, we want to thank His Excellency Tibohabura Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, for coming out and distance himself from being complicit in the Putin's aggression by stopping buying Russia fuel. As he said, Uganda will not buy cheap Russia fuel. Museveni quoted. We demand that all other demands we made, like putting on out of all Russian contracts, expiration of Russian metal from Uganda as a war sanction, be effected in efforts to weaken Putin and end his aggression. If we continue doing like such, this war will come to an end.
Peace in Ukraine. Peace in Ukraine.
And Ukrainians will gain their peace in the world. Hashtag peace in Ukraine.
Peace all over the
Peace
world.
over the world. If Russia stops fighting, the war ends. And if Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine ceases to be a state. Putin, stop the war. Ladies and gentlemen, today, 8th of January 2023, we held our first peace seminar under the theme, Share Your Peace, objectively to equip participants with knowledge about peace to be able to contribute to peace building through advocacy while talking on the peace they truly understand. All participants were awarded attendance certificates. Hope you can see members raising their certificates of attendance. And we believe those certificates are of great importance to signify those people's ability to advocate for peace all over the world. On the 16th of December 2022, as we celebrated 9 months since our inception on 16th of March 2022, we officially launched the Ukraine project. Down to Ukraine Security Committee, Sub-Saharan Africa, objectively to advocate for acceptance, respect and recognizing the independence of the sovereign state of Ukraine, encountering the disinformation and propaganda of Russia and its allies, lobbying Sub-Saharan African countries to support Ukraine, with expectation that by the end of the project, a lot will be achieved, amongst which is acceptance, respect and recognition of Ukraine as a sovereign state by Russia and its allies, accessibility of accurate information about Ukraine-Russian Federation war, restoration of peace in the sovereign state of Ukraine, support of Ukraine and its allies by countries in Sub-Saharan Africa, together with a Sub-Saharan peace caravan, as you can see. The committee to visit chosen Sub-Saharan African countries, starting with Nairobi, Kenya, on 12th of January 2023, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, on 19th of January 2023, Kigali, Rwanda, on 26th of January 2023, Cape Town, South Africa, on 9th of February 2023, Accra, Ghana, on the 16th of February 2023, Abuja, Nigeria, on 23rd of February 2023, and Khartoum, Sudan, on the 2nd of March 2023. Where in all our visits, we expect to start Ukraine Security Committees and as a link between the headquarters, which are here in Uganda, and the region for pursuance of our ultimate objectives. Engage with key decision makers, communities, media, and general public, spreading the gospel of peace and our hashtag peace in Ukraine,
Peace all over the world.
Peace over the world. We therefore request for your support, ladies and gentlemen, as we are raising Ugandan flag as the base for all this great work of building and fighting for peace is here in Uganda. We believe our actions are of great importance to the Ugandan image internationally as a country and the people who love peace, and that anyone can be at peace to make any investment in Uganda or even to come and visit Uganda, which might earn revenue to the country and reduce on unemployment in case of an investor. We call upon the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Uganda, Ministry of Tourism Uganda, Office of the President of Uganda, religious institutions in Uganda, peace-loving individuals and organizations in Uganda and across the globe to support our efforts. As we don't have any funder, we fund ourselves for what we believe is right. The support we need include but not limited to security, legal backup, advocacy materials like t-shirts, caps, flyers, teardrops, truck banners, etc., air tickets, vehicles, gadgets like phones, cameras, power banks, food, water, and financial support. For any support, there is an attached number for our treasurer and our account for any support for God and my country.